Hello, and welcome to another update video on XRP. I'm here on the daily time frame, and we can see that XRP is currently, still in a sideways consolidation pattern. You know, this consolidation pattern, I know we've had quite a lot of volatility, but actually you could say if you zoom out far enough, and you actually see that all of this price action throughout the entire year was just a massive correction. It's a massive correction. XRP loves to do these things. I mean, XRP loves to do these, the extended, just ongoing corrections here, these sideways ranges, on a smaller and on a larger scale. And I know it's draining, but when XRP moves, it can be very explosive. And then historic patterns suggest that once XRP has consolidated enough, there's just one catalyst that's coming in that might then trigger a massive move. And that can happen very quickly, and then you might not see it coming. It is what it is. So all we can do is prepare for this by sharing key support levels, parameters that need to hold to keep this potential alive, and then also the key invalidation points and the breakout points, And then obviously the larger trend, which is still up on this chart, because if it wasn't up, then, we would have broken support, but the $1.21 support level is still holding. I also cannot see impulsive price action to the downside anywhere. So from an Elliott Wave point of view, we can see 3 wave movements to the downside, 3 wave movements to the downside, and we are still holding support, guys, which keeps the upside scenario to $5 plus alive. But we know that XRP spends extended times in sideways ranges. And we continue to be in this range at the moment, which is basically between $3.40 and $1.21. So the only way how you're making money at the moment is if you're trading actively the range. By the way, those range boundaries were defined already earlier this year, and the range is still holding. But it is difficult because most people don't like to trade the range. Most people hate trading ranges. I don't trade ranges. It's just often much more productive in these cases maybe to use a grid bot or something. By the way, I do have a playlist on grid bots in case you're interested, because regularly when I talk about trading sideways ranges, people ask about grid bots. I'll link it at the end of the video. It shows you basically how to set up a grid bot. But grid bots can work quite well actually in these ranges, because your time is usually used much more productively to actually trade trends and not the ranges. And in range trading, most people lose money unless you're really a trained range trader. It's just more difficult than trading the trends. The bot can't really trade trends, not so well, but the range, right? And in the sideways range, all you have as well is you have all these emotions, right? The boredom, and then the over trading comes in, and the frustration, and then the revenge trading, and all that stuff happens usually in ranges. So just be a bit careful. Usually ranges are for capital preservation, not so much on making massive profits, but grid bots can be a nice addition actually. And this is a perfect grid bot range. I mean, it is, It's actually a textbook example with parameters possibly between 120 and 340, just here based on the chart. But anyway, what we are looking for, what most people are looking for, is not a continuation of the range, but actually people want to break out to the upside. And what we have here is this swing low that formed on the 10th of October. It was obviously this flash crash that happened on many charts. And then, as you can see, XRP so far has been holding this Fibonacci support zone. It is between 175 and 217. This is our Fib support zone. We have a corrective pullback, a dip into the support zone, and not yet any impulsive upside reaction, but a small upside reaction. But I said before to you guys, we really need a break above the resistance zone, which I have highlighted here on the chart. Now we can make it a little bit more obvious. It's very clear on the smaller time frame, but basically this is our resistance zone, which needs to be broken in this zone here between 269 and 284. And you'll see on the smaller time frame why this zone matters. And regardless of what's happening here on the micro degree, and I can tell you that another low is still likely, we might still see another test of support. Structurally, that wouldn't really change anything. It would literally just be noise, because until support breaks, structurally really nothing changes. On the micro degree, surely, we could say maybe the wave 2 bottomed, maybe we get another low. I can tell you that I haven't got any evidence at this point that a meaningful low has formed. We don't have a break above resistance, and we don't have a meaningful 5-wave impulse that breaks above resistance. We just don't have it yet, okay? So from that point of view, the pressure is, I'd say, rather down, or at least we are just dealing with a local range in a larger range, and we need a break above that 284 level, for a further confirmation that we finally started the move to $5 plus. This is critical. Now, if we look at the shorter time frame, you can see this range in the range. I know it's double frustrating, but you see we have a 3-wave pullback as well. So regardless of bearish forecast, because there are many bearish forecasts out there. A lot of people say that everything's collapsing, which can be, I'm tracking support. I'm not predicting support has to hold. I think it could, and I'm tracking bullish structures for a reason here, right? But what we have, and that's a fact, is we don't have impulsive price action to the downside so far. So we have from the 13th of October high a 3-wave move down. The problem is we also have a 3-wave move up, so it doesn't really give us a clear breakout signal. We also haven't broken above this resistance, which is basically structured based on the 269 level, previous swing lows, and the 10th of October high, where the selling volume started to kick in at 284. So with 3 waves down, 3 waves up, we don't really have any evidence that a low is in. Had we seen from, let's say the November low, a micro 5-wave move up, it would be more clearly bullish. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. Rather, even we have a micro 5-wave move down. That's really just on the micro level. So the 3-wave move we have already might morph into a broader ABC structure. And if that happened, it should happen from here, because we're now testing micro resistance. That's an even smaller degree resistance area in the larger range, so it's really not so significant. But if we have a 5-wave down from the Monday high, then we should start the decline from here. So it's a key pivot here, at least on the micro degree. Not so meaningful in the grand scheme of things, but on the micro it's quite important. On the other hand, that means if we can break above 252, that's an indication that the immediate downside pressure is easing a bit, which would be a short-term bullish signal. That's the update on XRP. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then feel free to join the MCO community. If you want to become a member, you can find some information on our channel page. There's a short video that explains the member benefit. You can become part of the community, of the family. As a thank you, you get access to our weekly live stream every Sunday. We run it, and you can access our member-only videos. There are quite a lot of them. Yesterday, I uploaded Aster, for example. These are videos that are often not covered here on YouTube in public. And that's just as a thank you, because, guys, it takes hours to produce the videos, the analysis on our different channels. There's a lot of work that happens in the background that people don't even see. And so, if you want to become a member, you can do that here to support our project. As a gold member, you can also join our Discord server for additional updates, charts, news, just more content. An Elliott Wave course. If you ever wanted to learn Elliott Wave, there is a full course there. There's a risk management course and much more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.